Where are you guys going, Laura? You're always driving at 6 o'clock at night.
Well, usually we have, my son usually has football practice on Thursday evenings at 6. And then we like run errands in Rancho. So we're running errands and then we're going to go pick up a sign because we closed on a house yesterday.
High five.
We're just driving Miss Daisy. She makes me drive her around all the time.
Stop.
Your job. That's why she has to do all the hard work and deal with me and negotiating and get yelled at. Speaking of, how's things going with that deal? Did you wind up canceling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he found another place. And I said, not until you have a local lender, you are fully vetted, you are pre-qualified again, because I will not show you another house until that is done.
Yeah, tell him he's just going to keep burning himself and costing himself all this money. And he lost that $1,000 earnest money, huh?
Oh, yeah. And the appraisal money and the inspection money and everything. So.
I mean, the seller took care of himself, and that was good that they did that. But that's what I was trying to get away from, paying it out before the close of escrow.
Yeah, she asked for it for close of escrow. At least I didn't offer it like I was going to. So we waited until, but she got $1,000 out of it.
Miss Melissa, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. How are things going with your new builds?
Okay, I guess. I haven't heard anything from them.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to new builds, you're going to get notified of some inspections, some critical dates like the slab is done, the framing's done, the drywall's done. Other than that, it's pretty much just silence.
Yay.
Yeah, it's kind of nerve-wracking for someone who likes to control the deal. Miss Charity, good seeing you again. What kind of lead generation did you do between 2:30 and now?
I went to a parkour gym and talked to people.
Did you hand out business cards? Did you collect contact information?
I set an appointment to go back next week.
To the parkour gym or to talk to people?
Well, both.
Expand your guys' sphere of influence is what I want to kind of talk about here, is how do we find more deals? And that's the one thing everyone's struggling with right now, is where do I find deals? Right? So.
Hey, Big Dan, I'm glad you said that. Charity, that's how I got a listing, is from going to the gym and talking to people. Sometimes wearing my name badge. Hey.
I went and got oil change, and then they have business cards from all different people. So I will call them when I'm licensed.
On the regional tech driver command training today, the fellow shared what he targets the Facebook ads to, his list of all those things. He shared that in his YouTube video, so I got that if anyone would like to see it.
Those tech driver calls are so good. They're so good, and the stuff that he put on for those Facebook ads were really, really amazing.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What did you take away from that?
So I took away that it really needs to be very specifically targeted and not so general and broad like I've been putting it out there. And if you are sharing a listing, then to have it be going to that property on your web page, like have that be the follow-up lead from the Facebook link. And so I think like from the ads that I've done, there's ways to certainly improve what I've done.
I like it. So they're having you go to your website, search for the property address, copy the URL from that, and then use that as the backdrop for the ad. That's actually really smart. I like that. Instead of creating a custom one in Command, it keeps them on your website. That's good. That's good stuff. Anyone else kind of gather around that?
Yeah. And I love the program Canva for a lot of my design stuff, but like you can really do a lot in command with design. So I was really surprised, and I was like, okay, maybe I should spend more time doing the design work in there. So
And
I thought that was
quite
really
a bit
great.
of content there.
Yeah, I
Quite
was
a
really
bit.
impressed.
Yeah, we found some limitations. We messed with it last Thursday. We really got in there and messed with it and had some troubles trying to do a print campaign. It's things that we're still bugging through on it and making it work out. But that was one of the things that we found was a kind of a hitch. Dory's internet's all terrible,
Oh,
but
and they also shared like how to do the email campaign, and I saved the link for his YouTube video for that.
what is that person doing, Laura? Why is he stealing stuff out of that person's yard?
Because we don't pay anybody for our signs, remember? Because they charge an extra $80 to put a sign up in Sawadita, so we just bought our own signs. He has to do that work. I do the rest.
It's fair. I'm sorry if I get pulled off this stool. My mom came home today and she finally picked up her dog. So Moose doesn't have anyone to play with on the call. So I have to distract him. And if he pulls me off this thing, it's going to be kind of funny.
Is
So,
Moose behaving himself better? No.
not at all. Not one bit. But that's a different call altogether. So one way that people are finding a lot of business is through campaigns on command, finding some leads and stuff like that. What I would do is, if you don't have listings of your own, ask other Keller Williams agents if they don't mind you marketing theirs, and just create a Facebook post with that property that just went live and listed on it. And let's put it out there. Like, I've got a listing going live this week, and I want you guys to all make a Facebook post about it. Don't put money behind it. Just make your own Facebook post and see if you can generate some leads. See how it works. It's a new listing going live. If you all did that, like if you guys told, hey, I got a listing coming live, or hey, I got a listing going live, all of you did that. You shared your listings, and you took that listing information amongst our core of team members, if you will, and put a Facebook group out, a Facebook post of that listing that goes to your website, that keeps them on your website. You might pick up some traction. You might pick up a deal. Are you marketing for somebody else's seller? Yes. Are we doing it to sell the house? Absolutely not. What are those lead campaigns designed for?
Just to capture the lead.
Yes, ma'am. Why do we do open houses? Randy, are you meditating? Oh, you weren't ready yet, were you? Your green screen wasn't set up yet. He's trying to get set up. Randy's trying to make us all laugh, and we appreciate Randy for it, but that's his own style. But the same thing we do open houses is we do open houses because we're trying to find business. We're not trying to sell the house we're doing an open house at. So the same thing with your Facebook posts. Don't wait to get a listing to do a post. Go in the hot sheet every day and look at the new listings. If there's something that's in that 200 to 250 price range, or even better, the 180 to 200 range, and you can find, and it's a Keller Williams listing, reach out to the listing agent and say, hey, do you mind if I use your house in an ad? I doubt they're going to say no. I mean, that would be stupid of them to say no. That's a ton of marketing that they're getting for free. And for you, you can pick up some leads. If you guys pick up one buyer, it's worth your time. Even if you do one a week and you don't pick up but one lead that's a buyer, bam. Is it worth it, right? What's the potential income there? Quite a bit. So let's start doing that. There's one tactic. Holy shit. You almost got me on that one. There's one tactic right there that you can use right now. You can go tonight or tomorrow. Go tonight. Go look at the hot sheet that's on there tonight, and then tomorrow see what's different. And put something up. Okay? Simple, right?
Yeah. I put an ad out Monday Just selecting an area of Northwest Tucson, homes under $300,000. Here's a list of homes available this week. I've got 9 hits on it, 9 leads. 2 of them are looking. Haven't talked to an agent yet. Other ones you add down the road, but I have them up on a search, and they've already been looking at the searches, and they've responded to a couple smart plan text message, automated texts already.
I like it. Yeah, Randy and I talked about that. He's doing neighborhood stuff every week. And how much did you put behind it? $20?
Yeah, I've only spent 11 so far. So
I mean, if you guys can pick up a couple of leads for $20, is it worth your $20? This is not McDonald's. This is not Walmart. This is not Lowe's. This is not a corporation that funnels millions into advertising to celebrate their brand. This is your company that you are marketing for. At the end of the day, is it Keller Williams or is it Charity Plum? Is it Hope All Day? Is it Laura and Jason? Right? It's not about getting Keller Williams out there. We're already the biggest. We know that. We're the biggest because we're trying to get our agents to push themselves and put more of the agents out there. The only requirement we have is that we're first and prominent on your signage. That's only to, and that's an ADRE compliance to let people know that it's a regulated broker that's representing, and not just some fly-by-night rip off you and take your money and disappear kind of person. There's value in that, but I really want you guys to do that. If you got listings, and as we grow in your businesses, you're going to find more listings and you're going to find more deals. Share with the group. You know, right now there's 10 of you on the call, or 9 of you on the call, including me, 10. There's 50 of us in the group. There's a lot of engagement that's not happening. You want to know something? I look around the screens every week, and the people that are on these screens a lot are the ones that are actually closing deals, or they're moving in their careers, or things are taking place. So what else can we do for finding some leads? Raise your hand if you have business cards on you right now.
Well, I'm
2 feet away.
in my underwear.
Can you grab a business card if someone say, hey, you know, I love chatting with you. Do you have a business card? Can you hand it to me within a second?
If I have
Well,
my
I'm sitting at my
wallet or my
desk
purse
already.
with me,
It doesn't prevent me. I get people's phone number. I got my lead's phone number in the Dutch Brothers drive-through the other day that I'm helping in a year buy a house.
Okay.
You got to be bold. You got to
Gotta
ask for their information.
But not even that. How many times is someone like not going to be like, you know, I'm not good at getting my information away, and you're stuck there with nothing in your hand. But what you need to do is be like, hey, let's connect. I'd love to have a conversation with you further. I would have loved to have seen your face coming down the road.
This is my only wallet, so it can't tell, but it's a little clip thing. So I keep some cards in my money area, but I learned they always get bent up. So I actually took some and laminated them so they don't get all screwed up during the day. So I can have some.
Be different, guys. Your business card. Here's business card etiquette. If they don't take your card and go, wow, that's a nice card, you failed.
I've got to nurture that I didn't have cards on me at my other job. And so I said, give me your number. I'll send you my app that has my contact information.
That's what I was going to go to next. If you don't carry business cards, and this is your business, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you guys some insight. Hey, let me send you my digital business card. Let me send you my contact card. Right?
Well, I, for one, have on my iPhone myself as a contact. I have everything filled in. Every last detail. I've even got a link already on there with the web address for the app. My Facebook, everything.
I like you have the link for the app. That's a good idea.
And when every time I talk to a new person, anything, if I leave a message or after I talk to them, I say, when I hang up, I'm going to text you back my digital e-card It's very easy to save in your phone. Just open it up and hit save. And I've got people still calling back from that just because it was so quick and easy for them at that point. So some people don't like cards. So if you have that, then you can say, hey, let me just text it to you real quick. And then boom, you also get their number.
But what are you going to do with that number? Someone tell me.
Go to people's search area, find their name, their home address, and you get all that information, set them up in a neighborhood and go.
And follow up.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. But Randy's right. Be a stalker. Get as much information as you can.
Does everybody know about that people search site that Jason told me about and told a couple other people? No?
He forgot the name.
Well, Jason, you can type in a phone number, right? And then boom, it'll pop up who that phone number is usually registered to. If you have a name, you can actually type the name, get a phone number and a home address. And I've been doing that to clean up my database lately, and it's amazing. Free.
What are you listening to, Michael?
Stuck in the middle with you.
But you're at the bottom.
I'm not at the bottom. Not anymore. Sorry, I had to I have to come pick up my dogs. Sorry, guys.
If you have time, Mike, I would love to have you talk the story that you and I have been dealing with the last couple of days. I think it might be insightful for some people. I don't think he's listening. But Mike almost lost a deal because of a Benzer repair and an out-of-state buyer and unrealistic expectations. And
Hold on just a second, Mike.
Learning how to handle.
Connection's bad.
I think the storm's just making everyone's connection bad. But we'll let Mike get his connection better. All right, so we're back on the topic of finding lead generation in different places. Hope's got it from the line at the coffee shop. Ask yourself, where do you frequent every day? Or at a minimum once a week? Is there a breakfast place, a coffee place, the grocery store, a gas station? Something that you consider yourself going to at a semi-regular pace, right? Do you always go to the same gas station? Do you always stop and get a Bang energy drink in the morning? Right? Okay, what kind of places do you go to? This is the interactive part of the mastermind.
I went to an oil change and there was like 6 that had business cards there on the thing. So I want to.
Okay. Renee, did you get your haircut?
Yes.
It looks good.
Thank you. I had a really bad cut like 3 months ago, so I was waiting so I could get it shaped again.
Hey Dan, I'm sorry, my service dropped, so I didn't get to hear what you're asking me to talk about.
I was gonna say, did you save that situation you and I were talking about?
A salvage expert.
Yeah, buddy. You want to get some feedback so that we can collectively learn?
Yeah, where should I start?
Mike's got an out-of-state buyer. They looked at 2 houses. They already canceled the contract on one house because of the roof, which is a finicky issue. Moved on to a second house that had mostly good things. Needs a roof repair, needed the electrical panel redone. They're through the inspections and have a full Benzer request. And now Mike's in a wind tunnel. Mike Harris. Come on, Mike. Mike, can you hear us, Mike? Mike, are you there? Has a tornado gotten you, Mike? Yeah, we lost Mike. But anyways, so back, we'll get him to tell a story a little bit. It was an interesting sell when we were talking about how he was having a difficult client that wanted to cancel a contract over a simple repair when other major things that were in play were easier to resolve. So, Michael Whining. You there?
I'll try this again.
Are you in?
I'll try this again. So, a little background. I got my buyers from Georgia that we've been working in, and we put in an offer on a home. We actually the offer was accepted. Went through inspections, everything like that, and after the inspections, there was like a loose faceplate on the faucet, bathroom faucet. So they wanted to cancel it and go look at another property. So
Oh my God.
we went and looked at another property, and when they walked in, I mean, her thing was like, I don't know what I was thinking. This is the best. This is absolutely it. I don't care if the roof is a problem. I don't care about the Federal Pacific electric panel. That's only $2,300. You know, I mean, it was really pretty much a slam dunk deal. But the problem here is they're moving from Georgia, small time frame, very tight. They're non-negotiables. They basically negotiate with themselves to bypass them. I kept them in check, probably talked them out of at least 6 properties, just making sure that it's what they wanted. Well, this one, they talked themselves out of the garage. They talked them out of a double sink vanity. They talked themselves out of, I don't know, just a bunch of things, but made sure, and that was their choice. She absolutely loved it, loved the age of the home, everything else. They flew back to Georgia. We did the inspection. You know, obviously FaceTime did that stuff, and everything was good as far as I knew. Roof has 4 or 5 years in it. The Federal Pacific panel, which wasn't a problem when we walked in, now turned into, they wanted a 200 amp service on a 100 amp panel, which is obviously an upgrade. So come to the last day, writing out the Binzer, and new requests kind of start coming up. And they decided not to ask for a roof because it's 4 to 5 years, but they want the roof maintenance, $700. They asked for the service panel to be changed out to 200 amp. And then they asked for a faucet. So now it's a dual diverter hallway bath faucet. It's got a push button into the wall, and then the one on the faucet itself. And when the inspector tested it, they pushed the pin in too far, and honestly, the picture looked like water was spraying out of a screw. Well, I went in and checked it after I saw the picture, and you could see that it was a pin, a push pin. I messed with it. You really had to make it leak, you know. So I shared that with them and everything, and at first they were like, it's okay. But then as hours passed, it turned into, well, what's happening here? What, you know, is it leaking in the wall? Is there mold? Is there water damage? And this is a pretty fairly remodeled bathroom. So basically at the 11th hour, we went from just the roof maintenance and panel to adding the faucet in. And they wanted the faucet repaired, otherwise it was going to be no-go. So submitted the Binzer. Agent basically said there's nothing wrong with it. The seller already went in and looked at it, fixed it, which basically means he just pulled the pin out. He didn't really fix it per se. He just pulled the pin out to where it wasn't leaking. And they weren't willing to change it out because of the stone and tile work. And so this is just in conversation. I've submitted the Binzer back, but the agent and I are having a conversation on what can we work in order for their response to be appropriate, you know. Long story short, they were fine with the roof maintenance. They were fine with the 100 amp service at $1,200. They were about to cancel the contract on the faucet because they felt like it needed to be changed out and it was an obvious problem. So as of yesterday, I was kind of, they called me and said they want to cancel it. They want to cancel it. They don't want to move forward. They're going to just rent. They're going to figure out Tucson. They don't want to buy it because if the faucet's jerry-rigged, what about the rest of the house? What about, you know, what other work have they jerry-rigged? And we were told the owner was a general contractor, so now they're like, well, if he's a general contractor, why can't he change it? Turns out he's a commercial painter, general contractor. So a little bit different. Long story short, as of yesterday, they were basically just wanting a response and were ready to cancel it. And then through the night and this morning, it changed again. That they're, if the sellers would fully agree to the Binzer, they would proceed, but they didn't want me to communicate that to the agent. They basically wanted to restrict me on it, and I, I basically just kind of had to let her talk. And we finally reached a point where I was able to say, well, my goal was yesterday to talk to the agent and just let her know that anything short of full acceptance of the Binzer was probably going to result in a cancellation. And the seller or the buyer said, oh, you were going to play poker. I said, no, I'm not playing poker. I mean, in all honesty, that's where you guys are at. If they don't have full acceptance, you're not willing to move forward, And so then they just, there was obviously misunderstandings on their side of how we work and communicate and everything. They felt like every email or communication I had with them was putting them into a new agreement, and I had to just keep coming back and anchoring them and letting them know that that's just what we try to do to negotiate it and move forward and keep the deal together. So basically, what I ended up doing was calling the agent, asking if the seller would take apart the faucet and at least video it. And then I upped it from there because I talked to Dan and he's like, just go stop by. And so I asked if the sellers would be okay for me to be there and FaceTime while he does it. So that way we have more of a, just more power in the video and everything. And I just got back from it. They have a totally different outlook on the seller. They basically kind of demonized him. But then after she didn't even realize it was the seller on the video. But after they just got that just little bit of information, now they're in full acceptance of the seller's response. So as of right now, we're moving forward. So.
I know there's a lot of backstory to that, but you needed to hear the nuances of somebody that was out-of-state buyer, completely gung-ho on the house. So you think every emotional buying signal possibly is listed out there, so you can see nothing but dollar signs, right? I don't care if there's anything wrong with the roof, anything at all, we'll take care of it. We don't care. And all of a sudden, bam, they're out of the ether. If you guys have ever heard that term before, they're out of the ether. They're out of that engagement where they're super excited. They're seeing themselves in this house, and all of a sudden that smoke goes away, and they're like, bam, hit right in the chest of buyer's remorse. You got raise your hand if you ever had buyer's remorse, right? You buy something, you're like, oh, what did I do? But during it, you're like, hell yeah, $900 a month is going to be so cool. What? So, but those situations, and she felt like she was on the outside. She didn't feel like she was included. So one of the key points Mike brought up that I want you guys to send home is she thought every conversation that Mike was having was damaging the relationship and having a negative impact on the negotiations. She didn't feel like Mike was working for her best interests. Once Mike re-anchored, said, listen, I work for you. I don't talk to anyone without talking to you first. And the conversations I have only help get to points where I can help give you the information. So we need to do a really good job, especially with out-of-state buyers, and talking to them about what we do. What is your fiduciary responsibility to the client, right? And a lot of times that's to keep them anchored. Your entire career, you better get your human sewing kit out. It sounds weird to say that, but you're going to have to put people back together. You're going to have to put people back together all the time. Because
and go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mikey.
Oh, no. And one of the things Dan and I talked about and kind of came up with was, that we're an extension of them. We're kind of a security buffer, in the deal. So that way they don't get taken advantage of, but we're an extension of them and I that's how I anchored it back to her, was by saying, keep in mind, I call you before I call you and discuss with you what can or can't I say to this other agent, and I abide by it. And that's what happened was I was bound by our conversation yesterday, so I couldn't basically open negotiate freely with the agent in that sense.
I have a question for you, Mike. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Did you send did you send all the inspections and as they were coming in to your client and just say, take a couple days to digest this, and then we're going to talk about XYZ and pick the top 3, the electrical, the structural and safety? Did you give them time to digest, or do you feel like they felt rushed from the beginning?
No, they had, we had the inspection. After we went under contract, the inspection was 2 days after. It's got sent to them directly that night, both from myself and Chad, yeah. And so they basically had 7 days to digest it. And we went over it almost daily. So, and that's what I mean is like all the way up to the 11th hour, this is where we were going to do what we were going to do. And then they're 3 hours ahead of me, and I was at a showing, and they called and said, we want to change this. So I was at dinner trying to rewrite the Binzer on my phone and send it over to them before they would sleep. So
things we got to do, guys. Things we got to do. Also, Mike, how's it going with that other big deal? Offer out?
It's a go. Yep. Well, it'll be out. I just got back, but I talked to the agent. We've got, it's all a go. I'm going to write it. She's going to present it tomorrow because they're in Florida. Yeah, I mean, honestly, as far as verbal goes, everybody's on the same page. So
good deal. So we talked earlier this week and later of last week where don't be tied to the outcome of the deals, right? Don't be stuck on one course of action. When you hit a roadblock, we need to figure out, do I need to go through it, around it, or do I need to find a new course completely? And sometimes that means a new course completely. So I want to say thank you, Mike, for bringing that to my attention. Let me help you through that, because that was going to be one of the big struggles. Is Mike was, for lack of a better word, a little defeated, trying to pump himself up, and then he was all, I got this, and then he went out there and got it. So
oh, absolutely. And the conversation, I mean, I called Dan yesterday, just I don't know if, I mean, yeah, I guess defeated would be a good term, but I mean, it was like, it just felt messy and incomplete. And I'm just trying to figure out what could I have done. And in all honesty, I think what it should have been was be steadfast with their non-negotiables and just continue to anchor back. And I feel like I didn't, I mean, yes, I asked them and made sure that they realized it was their decision, but also I didn't, I mean, I knew in the back of my mind that it's a lot of their decisions are based on, we have to be there in 3 weeks. And I feel like that's where I should have anchored a little bit harder, leaned in a little bit more and just say, are you absolutely sure? Because you are moving to a new city. And I mean, honestly, that probably come to light more based on everything that happened of like, look, you're coming to a new city. You don't, in all honesty, you've been here for 5 days. You guys kind of drove around, but in 6 months, you might want to live in a different area of town. So is renting good for you right now? So.
It's good stuff. Don't be afraid to push off the deal for something that's going to benefit them better in the long run. You'll earn a lot of points for it. A lot of points for it. So. Oh,
and honestly, that was the first thing I did this morning was send them a list of rentals. And I think that's what opened their eyes, because the rentals were going to be between $1,400 and $1,900, and their mortgage was going to be $1,700, and they own it. But they were super appreciative that I went, in their words, above and beyond to help them, even though we just were, looking at down the barrel of canceling our contract. So
it's going to happen. Welcome to COVID, guys. Things are crazy. So thanks, Mike, for that. This is where you guys learn from stuff, is when you get in these situations, you'll have a little bit more insight and knowledge and be able to use some of that experiences to you. So share collectively. Mike's got a new listing going live that we can use for our Facebook posts.
Great.
Or if it's already under contract.
It's already under contract.
Great. Great. Hey, Big Dan, I'm glad you mentioned this one, because my recent one that I represented a buyer on, they bought it sight unseen. And we can And that can be maybe a little bit different too. So over communicating, putting their mind at rest, that's all important.
I can tell you that buying something you've never put eyes on and you just see pictures is very difficult. You know why I know that?
You did it?
What was her name?
Because
Stella.
I did
Stella.
it.
Hey, it's a little red wagon.
Oh.
You got rid of this petition, huh?
So I will tell you the one thing I really appreciated the sales professional I was dealing with, because the moment the truck hit the ground, I got pictures of it. I bought the truck, I agreed to the deal, and I did everything, and all I saw were stock photos. And these are photographs that were from the manufacturer, don't represent the truck in its true form at all, right? No different than somebody that's looking at a house that's thinking about moving to Tucson. We have a ton of transports here. We have a ton of people flying in and out. Davis Monthan, Raytheon, Caterpillar, massive industries that are drawing people here for short terms, and then they leave. Some of them stay. Some of them fall in love. They get captivated by a mountain. Some of them are here in July, and they're like, I'm not staying. Some of them show up in February and like, I love this place. And then June, they're like, what did I do?
Well, Dan, the one that just closed for me on Friday, I never met them in person. They never saw the house. They didn't come down for walkthrough. And I gave their friend that lives here the keys. I still have not met them.
This is what we're gonna do. So like the situation I had, as the consumer, I was super concerned about the quality, the condition, everything about it. The sales professional at the other end did everything possibly to make sure I was in the loop, knew timelines, knew everything was happening, went above and beyond and made sure that I had full scope. I got videos, I got pictures, I got extra documentation, I got everything. And he told me, like, this is the guy that's driving it, this is the cell phone number, this is what the truck looks like, this is a picture of the truck with your truck on it, this is his itinerary where he's stopping. Like, I knew everything about this transport. Do you think I had any worry in the world? He calls me and says, hey, this, and this. Okay, great, fantastic. And this, and this. Okay, great, fantastic. Everything is right in line. We do that same thing to our clients, and we walk them down the same path. We have just now given them an experience worth giving. Is that not one of our key terms, right? Experience is worth giving. And that's not just experiences that are lavish and extreme and just very, over the top. Experiences worth giving are experiences that will touch the soul, right? Experiences that are remembered, memorable, referable, I think is what you need to look for. Are you going to refer somebody who did an okay job? Are you going to torch somebody who did a shitty job? No, because you're all insane. Maybe. If somebody goes out of their way to make you feel comfortable, to keep you fully informed, to send you every piece of documentation, walk you through every step of the process, deliver it as promised, like Randy said, deliver it to his friends, never even met them, and then follow up after the sale, continue the relationship, is that a referable experience? Is that an experience worth giving?
Yeah, I had not only two sides of it, been being out of town and having to communicate a lot, but there was also at his age and a little bit of hearing, there's a lot of different things going on there too. And so with him, I showed him actually 10 houses, all via FaceTime. We'd have a house, I'd go there, unlock everything, turn the lights on, walk out to the street, call him up with the house behind me. Here's your house, there's the neighborhood, walk him in, open the door, give him an orientation. And the key to it all is going very, very slow. 3 times as slow as you think you need to go visually, because you all see on the other end, it's like, this. And with it, it was each house, and I learned their confidence in each one, because each house I described the rooms, the floor plan, the layout, which is the backyard, which was facing. I had my little laser pointer. I gave them room sizes right there on the spot and showed them. I basically looked for water damage. I went around. I mean, almost kind of like a visual home inspection on their own. But they took the time to walk around. Not only that, I got down to the corners of baseboards with these people, so that they felt like they were really there. And then, yeah, the key was just, hey, I just sent you things to sign. Please sign them, not just email it and hope they read it. And then inspections, it was just like they would with the client there. I made the inspector get on FaceTime with me. They ran the report down to the client right there. And then we would go over it again, and then I would send them the copy. And like you said earlier, give them a few days to look over it or however much time they need. But I'm new, and I've actually got 2 of these under my belt now. I've sold 2 homes. The other one, I met them on walkthrough. That was it.
So let's go full circle with it. And how do we take this understanding of how to give a better experience and an experience worth giving to our clients? And how do we become the agent of choice for those people coming in so that they choose you before there's 6,500 other agents to choose from, including yours truly?
I think you have to start by being their friend. You have to start by just being their friend. Be friendly, be professional, and follow up.
How can you become somebody's friend you've never met?
I can be anybody's friend, Dan. I don't know about you. I think you're everybody's friend in real estate, but I'm a close second.
How do you become the realtor of choice?
By providing value. Go ahead.
I slide them a piece of paper with yes or no.
So you got somebody who's thinking about moving to Tucson. What's one way for you to become as a selectable choice for an agent to be used?
For me, dealing with out-of-state people, the first things I would ask them is like, one, have you been here? How familiar are you of it?
How do you even start the conversation? How do you get to the point where they say, you know what, Randy, I want to talk to you. I'm thinking about moving to Tucson. Why would I use you? How do you get your name on that list?
Well,
I don't know how.
This is the lead generation part of it. It's we need to think, how do I get my name in there? Exactly. Listen to Chicago. She's asking the same question.
Big Dan, I'm a native Tucsonan. Maybe it's easier for me because I know the area, and I feel like that provides value to them because I'm familiar with the area.
Okay. Well, how are they
in real estate myself?
Well, like I was gonna say, for me, it's part of that conversation that you're having with them. That
I'm gonna pause it. Back it up. You don't even have a conversation. You don't know who they are. They've never talked to you.
Right.
They've never stepped foot on turf in Tucson. How do they get your name?
On the internet. That's where everybody is. 95% of people.
Now you guys are getting it. You're thinking, okay, there's one. What do we do on the internet?
Referral network.
Ooh, right to my heart with that one, Dory. Right to my heart with that one. Referrals. Okay, I like it. What else? Hope you were going somewhere with it. Run, let's go. Internet.
I believe it's marketing. You got to market the heck out of yourself. Let them know why you're the expert.
Market yourself. And then you can tie in the reasons, like when you have that conversation, to anchor it. And what did we start this call off with today? What did I say? We need to do what?
And our spear.
High five, Robin. Everyone give Robin a high five. Woo! You need to expand your sphere of influence. How many realtors do you know? Lots. How many realtors do your friends know? Lots. Because you are friends with people that we're friends with, right? Now, let's go one step. How many realtors do your friends of your friends that are not your friends, second level removed, how many realtors do they know? Less. One step beyond that, even less. If you don't ever need one, you will never know one. What what we need to do is we need to become mind share of the people that we don't know. 2 ways of becoming mind share is throw a bunch of money at it. Marcy Willems came to Tucson, spent $30,000 a month for marketing and advertising to present herself as the #1 agent in Tucson, even though there was a ton of agents that were outperforming her in the marketplace. Within 1 year, she became #1 because she was everywhere. I'm not saying y'all need to throw $400,000 at it. What I am saying is that's option 1. Do you have the liquid capital to put your name everywhere on everything and just dominate the marketplace? No. Option 2, not as much energy in the wallet, whole lot more energy on the phone. Whole lot more energy in line at the coffee shop. Whole lot more energy in line at the gas station. Are you talking to 20 people a day?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jason.
So for like you were saying, for the people that we're talking and not spending the money, what are you guys saying to stand out rather than I'm a realtor or I sell houses?
Hope just said it. What are you, Hope?
I'm the best real estate agent in the state. I'm your real estate consultant, and I'm your partner in real estate.
Your partner in real estate. She's the neighborhood expert. Right? I'm the market expert. I'm the one you need to talk to. You want Tucson, you want Big Dan Caldwell. There's a tagline for someone. Steal it. But you need to talk to people. Charity, what did I tell you just roughly 3 hours ago?
To lead gen.
Once?
All the time. Every day.
At the gym.
Everywhere.
Where you're
You are not realtors and real estate consultants and negotiators and professional mind makers uppers until you are a lead generator. Nothing else matters if you don't have anyone to talk to. I could be the best negotiator in the world. I could be the most smooth, the most debonair, the most handsome. I mean, let's not call out the obvious here. But if I don't have anyone to talk to, that doesn't make any difference. None of this works until you do. So let's get out there. Let's make some friends. What is your goal daily? What are you pushing yourself daily to have a conversation with X amount of people? What is it? Let me hear it. Be honest with yourselves. What is it?
Oh.
Is it 20, Randy? Are you pushing yourself to talk to 20 people a day?
I thought you were asking us what you're saying to do. No, I'm sorry.
Get uncomfortable, guys. How many people a day are you going to have a real estate-based conversation with? Answer me. Is it 1? Is it 5? Are you going to be nuts like Robin and go out there and talk to 60 people? I want you to vocalize it.
I think for me, 25 is the goal. So whether I make that call or I have to go down to the store and I talk to a couple people in line, or I call a friend and ask for a referral, my goal is 25 a day. I've been front loading my week, Monday, Tuesday. Go ahead.
25 a day.
25.
125 real estate conversations a week. You see how that compounds? If you don't commit to something, you will not ever achieve it. Goal number 1 in our business is what?
Lead gen.
Get someone to talk to.
Follow your schedule. Simple. Follow your schedule.
I'm a leader in this company. My job is to help agents. You know who my clients are? Y'all. Charity didn't know who I was 6 months ago. Did you?
Your lucky day, Charity.
Some of you don't even know who I was before, like the COVID thing happened, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, Craig quit. This is Big Dan Caldwell. He's running the program now. And you're like, oh, shit. And now you're like, oh, shit. But I go out of my way to meet agents I don't know. Case in point, Mike Johnson, he's an agent at KLP. His office is decorated in cult stuff. I've heard his name a bunch of times. I've never met the man. I forced myself to get uncomfortable. It's not naturally comfortable for me to walk up and say, hey, I don't know you. Who are you? Because I naturally assume everyone knows who I am. Because I'm kind of arrogant. Sorry. Being real.
You're confident.
At the Christmas party, I didn't know who you were, and I was brand new. I only knew Kimmy. And I went to that party, and I was really nervous to walk in not knowing anybody. And you talked to me. You were friendly, and I walked up to you, and you talked to me.
Now, what happens in that same situation? You go out of your way to talk to a new face, and they just happen to be here on a business trip, and they're thinking about moving to Tucson. Who just became the agent of choice for someone who doesn't live in Tucson? Do you guys understand my passion in this, right? I'm trying to nail a point home. It does not take thousands of dollars to become successful in this business. You don't need a Danny Roth fan to park in a parking lot. One day, I hope you all have your own Danny Roth fans, but it's the Hope All Day Bus or the Randy C Caravan. Buy a house with me and use this for free. I love it, right? That's a $60,000 investment that he's got sitting there. It's a mobile billboard. But I can tell you for a fact that he does not let that stop him from talking to 20 people a day. There's magic in the number 20, 25. Small goals will not excite your soul, period. Nobody wakes up in the morning and strives to be okay. I had an okay day. Check, star, circle. Woo! I've never seen an okay person on Instagram blow up. There's always something extraordinary about them. Is it your ability to get people to go on walks with you during COVID and create walking groups? Pretty extraordinary. Is it your ability to get people together to go on motorcycle rides and have a riders group? Pretty extraordinary. Is it your ability to walk around your neighborhood and literally know every aspect of every neighbor in your neighborhood, including their mangy ass dog? It's kind of extraordinary. You can be impactful in growing your sphere of influence by simply growing your sphere of influence. Raise your hand if I've scared you a little bit.
Just a little.
This business is amazing. This business will take you to some places you have never seen. You will be able to help people in ways that you could never fathom. You'll be able to give back more than you've ever received. And at the end of it all, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to wake up and strive for greatness. But until you commit to growing your sphere of influence, you're always going to be fighting for the next deal. You're always going to be fishing and hunting and scratching and turning up rocks. What happens if you do that already and you also go and find great referral sources? What does your life look like when you've got somebody that will send you a deal a year? Right? What if you have 10 of those people, 20 of those people, 100 of those people? It's not going to happen overnight. but it will happen a whole lot faster when you get into action doing it. So, are you going to commit to 5 a day? 6 a day? Hope all day? Hope you had your hand up.
I did. I was gonna tell Renee that her hair looks really good, and
Oh, thanks.
and remind everybody to be a farmer, like what we were talking about the other day, because my hairdresser sent me 2 referrals. It took me, I've been going to her for years and years, but I started planting the seed a year and a half ago, and she sent me 2 referrals within the last month, and I'm closing on one of those deals next week.
High five, Miss
So
Hope.
this was the first time I had gone to this girl, and she asked me for a stack of my business cards. So I gave her a stack of my business cards. So
And take hers too, and let her know that
Yeah,
you're doing her business.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She gave me referral cards too. So if anyone wants to go to Aveda, let me know. Get $20 off.
Yeah, no, but
I,
sometimes it's slow and go. I really never thought I would get a referral because every time I would go in, somebody else's, another real estate agent's card would be ahead of mine. So you know what you do, you throw them over your shoulder, and put mine in the front again. You do what you got to do.
There was a while there, I was the only stack, and this is not to play off any kind of racism, but I was the only white person on a Asian billboard in a sushi restaurant because they had all these cards. There's a bunch of Asian realtors. I was the only white person up there. You want to know something? And every time I went into that restaurant, I had to take someone's cards out and put mine in because they kept throwing them out. But I ate there at least once a week. I sold a house to the manager. Because I'd go in there, and I'd been going there for years in the car business. Hell, I'm actually going there tonight, to be honest. And we got another story coming.
Let me tell you a story. I somehow gave my business card to somebody. A year later, it showed up on someone's billboard, an agent that worked with me, and I was on staff for like a year and a half. And my card was sitting out. Somebody was promoting me, and I had no idea because I had just given my cards out to everybody that I met. So, it can happen.
So let's grow your sphere of influence, guys. When we asked about different ways of doing it, so far we've heard, gas stations, places you frequent. Think about that. If I go into the same gas station every time and I see the same 4 dudes and a chick or 3 chicks and whatever, it got weird. I'm sorry. Heather laughed. But that's the thing.
If you
see them all the time, strike up a conversation beyond, hey, thanks so much. Have a great day. Go ahead, Renee.
I was going to say, if you know anybody that has an Airbnb, magnets on the fridge. I know 2 agents that have gotten referrals just because the magnet was on a fridge at an Airbnb they stayed at in Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. My neighbor across the street, we talked about Will, the neighbor. I'm going to give him a call. I'm going to get him a magnet on his fridge.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know 2 agents in Tucson that have gotten referrals just because of a magnet, because people were staying here for the winter and they decided they want to buy. So
Become friends with your lenders too. I've got 2 lenders that are giving me referrals right now, and then also my stylist as well.
Not for long, Mikey. I'm coming after the bearded wonder.
I joined a BLM book club.
There you go. That's
with
good.
People I don't know.
I love it.
Trying to get more people. Yeah.
What was that last part? People you don't what?
I don't know them.
No.
I didn't know them.
I was just trying to sink a point home. That's all.
No. Oh.
Can you grow your sphere of influence by talking?
I thought my internet was going out again.
No. As a sales director in the car business, we had the issues of the people who grouped together and talk and eat. And my job is to walk up and ask what were they buying? Because you would see 2 people sitting and having lunch together, two salespeople, and then ask one, what are you buying? Well, then why the hell are you sitting down having lunch with somebody you already know? grow your sphere by getting out of your comfort zone and go make a friend. Go do something with people you don't know. If you've got a friend that's really into LARPing, if you don't know what LARPing is, Google it.
What the?
Exactly. It's a huge community of hobbyists. That's all I'm going to say. It's not sexual at all. It's just a huge. But that's the thing is, it's called live action role play. These are people that like get dressed up in knights uniforms and have battles in the woods and stuff. Massive communities of people, very tight knit. If you get brought into that, even if you're a noob, as my nephew called it this morning, you can make friends that aren't your friends. You can grow your sphere of influence just by being engaged in situations and being part of events that you normally wouldn't go to. You get asked out to go to a brunch when we can go to brunches again, say yes. As long as somebody's going to be there you don't know.
So
Okay.
when I couldn't sleep last night, I just started looking up random groups of stuff in Tucson like that, in Oro Valley and Vail and Green Valley, and joined a bunch of random groups just for the same reason.
You guys you ever heard of Drew Smith? Is it Drew Smith? Yeah, it's Drew Smith. Big beard. That's how he built his business.
Through LARPing?
No, not through LARPing.
That's a whole other kind of role play. I don't want anything with that.
But no, that's the thing is he inserted himself in a bunch of hobbyist groups that he didn't know, Facebook groups and golfing stuff. Picked up golfing. Picked up what is that? Tennis golf.
Oh yeah. Pickleball. Pickleball.
Pickleball.
Or what is it? I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking
about. What?
Moving on.
I love you. But I want you guys to start thinking of some situations. And this is we kind of took the mastermind and I ran with it like I always do, and I apologize. But I want you guys to start thinking about, how can I grow my sphere? What's your number going to be? If it's 5 or 25 or 10 or whatever it is. Real estate conversations a day, and hold yourself to it. And if you really want to get bought in and you really want to change your life, text me your number. And then text me every day you hit it.
Okay. Hey, Robin and I had a side chat earlier, and we're going to start role playing for 15 minutes a day. We're going to do some role play.
That's awesome.
And maybe it'll turn into accountability. I'm waiting for you to text me, Robin.
Okay, I'll do it.
I was going to say, I'll join in on that if I can.
Yeah,
You
we'll
guys,
take
if
turns.
you want to take some time and do something in the evening and you want to use a Zoom room like this, let me know. I'll give you access to this one. Or I'll jump in and just have it playing in the background. And that way I can record it and share the videos just to you guys. But whatever you do, for the love of all that is what we do, don't let your business die on the vine. Okay? You know more people than you think. You have people to talk to. Go do something with people you don't know, grow your sphere of influence, make more friends, make a bigger sphere of influence, and soon, people that come to Tucson come to look for you. There's enough business to go around, guys. Let's go take our unfair share. Any closing thoughts?
Thanks for being fabulous. Thanks for helping us out.
You give us a lot of ideas to put into play.
You got to pick one and do it. Pick one and do it. If you guys need some recap, go watch some of the other videos. You can fast forward through them. But do it. Put something into action. That's all I got to ask. Whatever you decide to do, do it. Okay? I love you all. You're all very special to me, and I'm very thankful that you're part of my family. And with that, I bid you a good night.
Amen.
Thank you.